We're here with Maryland 2025 commit Braheem Battles. How are you doing today, Battles?
I'm doing great. Couldn't complain myself. How about you?
Doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm just going to ask you a couple questions about you committing to Maryland overall and your football experience going back to the younger days and everything else. But I like to start with talking about their people's football stories. And when did you start playing football and when did you get into it?
I got into it at a really young age. I started playing around 6, 7. I started off with flag football, and then it just transitioned into tackle, and then right now in high school.
Right. Were you always playing defensive line? I mean, I know in flag football it's a little bit different, but ever since you've been a kid, have you been like on the line, or has that been something that has changed more recently?
I've always been on the line, but I played a little linebacker too back in
Okay.
stuff.
Okay. How did you like playing linebacker a lot, or not
Yeah,
really? Yeah,
yeah, but it was definitely a lot of running.
it was a lot of running. But you prefer being on the defensive line?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Who has your biggest mentor been through your football journey?
Um, Definitely my coaches and my family.
Got you. Is there
Yeah.
any coaches in particular or a family member in particular that has been really instrumental?
My dad, my mom, Coach Malosky, and Coach McGorry.
Got you. And who are those coaches for the people who don't know?
Coach McGorry was my head coach, my sophomore and freshman year, and then he resigned. And Coach Malosky was with our staff from my freshman year and my sophomore year, and then he got uplifted to head coach for my junior year.
Got you. That makes a lot of sense. Growing up, was Maryland like your dream school? I think I saw somewhere that said Maryland was your dream school. Is that true? Was Maryland your dream school growing up for a while?
Yeah, Maryland has definitely been my dream school for some time now.
Really? How come?
I just really like the facilities and just it's a good place to be, the city and stuff like that, and it attracted me a lot.
Really. So have you been able to go up there a good bit? I'm guessing. How is it like visiting up there? And I guess you've gone on like unofficial visits. How has that been?
It was definitely really nice. I was there for the Indiana game this season.
Gotcha.
It was definitely a great game day experience, seeing how the coaches interact with the players and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I like about the Maryland program. I like what Coach Locksley's building and how he interacts with different people. But let's move on to Coach Locksley. How has Coach Locksley been through the recruiting process?
It's definitely been great building a newer relationship with him, and I've already knew the staff for a while now. But
Mhm.
build that relationship with him personally is definitely going to be great throughout this process.
Right. And then I want to ask you about another coach, Coach Williams, the defensive coordinator. I think he's really awesome on the Maryland staff overall, and I love him overall. I think he's a really good football coach. How has he been? Because he also worked with the defensive line as well.
Yeah, it's definitely been great getting to build a relationship with Coach B. Will over this time, and just constantly checking in, seeing how I'm doing, checking in on me and my family, talking about the D line and stuff like that, seeing how I can be an asset to their D line and better the program. Definitely been great.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. Do they like send you any like film or anything to watch, or watch your film and give you a couple things to like correct? Because I remember one guy, Christian Martin, told me, who's the 2024 quarterback commit. He told me that they like gave him some notes on his film. Did they ever do that for you, or not as much?
No, not yet, but I could definitely see it happening in the future though.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just because he's later on in the process, that
Yeah.
would make sense. I want to go back to last year, your junior year in high school. Did you accomplish what you wanted to accomplish this season?
Yeah,
Your last
definitely.
season?
But me and my team had felt short of our fourth district championship in a row.
Right,
So we definitely want to get back and get one of those this year.
right. That's the goal going into next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. What are some of your personal goals for yourself going into next year?
I just want to get stronger, faster, and just stay on top of my academics mostly this year, and just have a successful senior season with the team.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. What are your strengths as a player for the Maryland fans that haven't watched your film or haven't seen you and don't know you? What would you say are your main strengths as a player that you're going to bring to the Maryland program?
I definitely feel like I'm a great run stopper. I have a high motor, and I just never stop playing. down or we're struggling late in the game, I'm just going to keep giving 100% effort no matter what.
Right, right. Walk me through the recruiting process a little bit. I know we touched on it a little bit, but Maryland was one of the first schools to offer you. So how come it was Maryland? I mean, I know you said it was your dream school for a while, but kind of walk me through that recruiting process. Like, when did they offer you and everything? Just tell me about what happened with that.
Maryland offered me January 23rd. I'm pretty sure that's the exact
Mhm.
date.
Right.
But I've knew the staff for a while now because I've been down there a couple times. I was
Mhm.
there my sophomore year for a spring practice, and then, like I said before, I was just there for the Indiana game this season. But just building a relationship with the staff, the GAs, Coach P. Great, Coach B. Will, Coach Gaddis is our area recruiter, so he came down and offered.
Right.
So it's
Right.
definitely great just getting to know them, building a tighter relationship, and just being around the staff for a while now.
How did Coach Gaddis do that? Did he like go to your house, or was it at school? Did he offer you, or like since
It
he's the
was
area recruiter?
it was before a lift, so he had came down and he had offered one of my former teammates with me at the same time.
Right, right, right. I know because I remember when I was in high school, I went to McDonough, which had a couple really good players overall, and a couple that are on the Maryland team, like Dante and Preston. And I remember I would just be seeing like coaches just coming in and like talking to some of the guys. So that's always cool to kind of see overall. But I want to know about the Maryland 2025 class. You're the third commit in that class. Have you gone to talk to some of the other guys in the class?
Yeah, I recently talked to Khalil Stewart yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
We're just
Right,
talking about our official visit and trying to just plan out dates and stuff like that. But it's
right,
going to be great building a relationship with the other commits.
right, right. Do you think I think the Maryland 2025 class has a chance to be maybe Coach Locksley's best class yet. I think we've been steadily improving as a team. What do you think about the 2025 class? Do you guys think that when it's all said and done, it can be one of the better Maryland classes we have seen?
Yeah, I definitely do think that it definitely will be one of the better classes.
Got you, got you. Do you guys recruit like any other guys? You guys like reaching out to anybody and being like, yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah, I reached out to a few guys.
can you name drop or no?
I can give you a couple names. DJ Kelly, one of my former teammates. Me and him been talking about it for a while,
Got you.
and yeah,
Gotcha. Yeah, because I know that's a big part of it. Like the coaches recruit, but I feel like the players recruit a good amount as well overall. When you get to college, it's a little bit far away. I know you still got a season in high school to go, but what is kind of the goal for you personally?
um, just to be able to go in and just compete and just work hard and just stay on top of, like I said before, academics and stuff like that is definitely a personal goal that I have for myself.
Right, right. You talk about academics. Is there anything that you like want to study at Maryland or anything like that, or that is that too far away a little bit?
I'm thinking about either majoring in sports management or exercise science.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. That would be a good thing to study overall. So I like to ask guys about: is there anyone in the like NFL or college football that's on the D line that you like to watch and maybe take some of their game?
I definitely like to watch Jalen Carter because personally I'm an Eagles fan, so seeing him on the field, and I definitely watch a lot of their games. So just seeing him on the field, I try to take little bits and pieces of his game and put it into mine.
Right, right, right. I mean, Jalen Carter was a beast. I mean, he was a beast in college as well. That's definitely a good player. And the Eagles have a bunch of guys up front that you can
Yeah,
watch up there. But have you been an Eagles fan your whole life?
yeah.
Just being in Philly. Interesting. That makes sense. But so Penn State was never like you were never, but you wanted to go to Maryland. That's where I was like kind of confused. I was like, I understand like Maryland being a really cool school and stuff, but like I would have just thought maybe Penn State was always the dream school, but now that it wasn't never that.
No, me and Penn State really never had a lot of communications.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Gotcha. That makes sense. What are your thoughts on the new college football game overall? I think it's really cool. I'm just curious your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I'm definitely gonna play with Maryland.
Right, right. What do you think Maryland's overall is gonna be?
I honestly don't know, but I got faith in them and the
You got
game.
You got faith in the guys making the game that they'll do them right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Battles, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. Make sure to get the latest Terps news at InsideMarylandSports.com.